And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be finishing off patch 3.56 and hopefully the Heavensward story. And as always, hello from Mithrie. Hello, what's up? Alright, so we are right here where we left off with Alpha Node, right outside the FC launch in Gridania. Let's talk to Alpha Node. The quest is called The Far Edge of Fate. Alpha Node has the look of a man with much to say. So, words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. So, either way, we must first... The Elder Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alpha Node. Gusetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. Cool, let's go to the Lotus stand. So as before, literally going to teleport to the Conjurer's Guild and go from there. Well, I've been a citizen of this town for, well, like nearly 4 years now. Wow. I think it is a good 3.5 years already. Jeez. Anyway, so here's the Silent Conjurer. So Elder Seer, where waits you? Let's go in. So, my friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega Eye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. So, what words could you do justice to such a scene? Not of my choosing, that much is certain, but I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its mist rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Gir Abania. So the primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. I need to stop having flippin' tons of food before like these sort of streams, because all the blood is in my stomach right now, not my brain. So the battle raged on with no end in sight until both combatants were engulfed in blinding flash of lights. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak of the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. Well, most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form. The Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinru. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinru's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Gear Urbania's side of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Turapin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the Council is adjourned. So, well, that explains a few things. I'll wager the flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen onto the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct, without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Gaia Urbania. Though Ilberd has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Galmold's grasp. Yeah. Cool. So now let's talk to Alpha Node. So, you must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Yasholda and the others have gathered at Amarax's spire, and I imagine you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now the cocoon is gone. It is decided then, lead on. Yeah, because I agreed with that plan. Okay, let's go. I was really happy when they added in that feature that you could just click on the teleport to go there. Let's go. Right. So, let's see. Wow. So much history in this place. That's what's also kind of sad about MMOs, is that you have all these memories of these places. Like, if you guys want, if you want to see an interesting video, go and watch the moment when I hit all level 60 gatherers and all level 60 crafters when... Oh, well, sorry, level 50 crafters and gatherers. I had a massive FC group with Distant World, FC on Masamune server, and we were running all around this zone. Ah, the past.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilberd's Primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as... Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
Never liked that Ilberd.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhaps she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
Ida is a girl?
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask.
Didn't.
20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. She was strong and kind, and always knew what to do.
So, was it Ida's sister in the Stormblood trailer? Or is it Ida herself?
But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too. And I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
What?
Of
I'm so
course.
totally shocked.
We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Not going to be selfish in this situation.
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me.
The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it.
Okay, so it was a spell, because she's not an Archon.
So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lys. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
A democracy! Yay!
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
I guess she gets early access, that's not fair. So, it was brave of Lys to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved. Let's return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell to Taru and my sister. Is that it? Okay. Well, guys, I wanted to, while you're watching the episode, I wanted to give my feedback on the Heavensward expansion. Hi! And what I'm hoping for Stormblood, basically, in the future. Now, one of the main sticking points which kind of set Heavensward down was the gap between 3.0 and 3.1. So I hope there isn't such a gap between 4.0 and 4.1. I hope it's only like 3-4 months max. And as well, the crafting. You guys know I'm all about crafting and gathering in this game. And basically for me, when they added red scripts and blue scripts, they didn't turn crafting more into a fast, pastime that you do when you like. They turned it into a job. So rather than it being a fun minigame, they turned it into a job, which I really just didn't appreciate, basically. I don't like being obliged to have fun, you know what I mean? So I hope that they remove the you have to do this if you want to get stuff attitude. You know, because it reminded me of 1.0 when they had all the different gates in the game, which is why 1.0 was a flop, basically. So I hope they remove weekly stuff on extra content like crafting. Crafting is a fun pastime, nothing more. It's not supposed to be more than that. In my opinion, at least. Of course, everything I say is my opinion. And Heavensward was very mellow. It was very depressing, in terms of the story. 2.0, we started off with the Calamity, with Bahamut invading the world. What happened after the Calamity? How did the world survive? How was Bahamut defeated? We spent forever going through the Binding Coil until we found out how Bahamut was defeated and fully defeated him. But in Heavensward, what did we do? We checked out the new area around Ishgard, which was fine. We found the characters one at a time. rip Minfilia, rip Papalimo, and that's it. You know what I mean? There wasn't urgency, there wasn't calamity, there wasn't world-ending apocalypse. It was more just like, it was like a detective expansion. And the difference with MMOs, basically, there has to be a certain level of excitement because you play expansions or MMOs for years at a time. It's not like any typical single-player game where you start and done between 20 to 100 hours. You play MMOs for years. There has to be excitement. There has to be an end purpose to what you're doing. In my opinion, of course, everything I say in this video is my opinion only. And this is just after playing MMOs since the beginning of Final Fantasy XI. I've been playing MMOs for a very long time now. And I feel they are wonderful games in their own right. You know, it's rightful category in the gaming market. But they have to be handled differently from any mainstream game. They just have to be. And you guys know that while I haven't had much to do in 14, I've just been playing loads and loads of single-player games. So you can just go on to Mithrie.com and you can see the sheer number of other games I've played. Thanks to you guys, mostly for all the suggestions as well. Now, it is my intention to come back to 14 once Stormblood launches. Lots of people are still asking me about crafting and gathering and so on. I will revisit it once the expansion launches. And I will see as well if the rules of 1 to 60 are still the same as they are now once it becomes 1 to 70. And my main feeling and my main motivation, guys, when I make these videos and this content is to share with the people, share with the community that life is short. It is so short. So if you decide to spend time playing games, playing this game in particular and so on, to make sure you have as much fun as possible. That's why I did the crafting and gathering guides. It wasn't just like, oh, let's make lots of money, yay. It was sort of to show you how fun it could be to be a crafter in MMOs, basically. To be self-dependent, independent completely, not have to rely on other players to do stuff that you could do yourself, basically. Now, the thing with Final Fantasy will always have a special place in my heart because just the sheer joy it brings, you know. It's like, fine, it was a bit depressing, but the goal of Final Fantasy always was to show you the light at the end of the tunnel, you know what I mean? That there is always a better tomorrow. So, and also as well, in terms of MMOs, you know, I played Final Fantasy XI, World of Warcraft, Aeon, Rift. I've played a whole bunch of MMOs. And from my experience, Final Fantasy has the best community of all MMOs I've played. Simple as that. And also, because it's Final Fantasy, it has some of the best music of all games as well. Now, the thing is as well, my wish and my hope for the future when it comes to Stormblood is that they do fulfill their promises. I'm sure Yoshi P will. You know, Yoshi P is an ambitious guy. I'm sure he will fulfill his words. I'm sure he wouldn't have said something unless he was actually doing it. So, for example, one thing is, right now, this MMO's got way too many abilities, and they know that, and they said they're going to be getting rid of a bunch of useless abilities, which is great. So you won't have to fill up like 15 hotbars when you're trying to play your character. Also as well, because they're dropping PlayStation 3 support in the expansion, it means hopefully they can up the graphics, because these graphics were great like 3.5+ years ago when the MMO first came out. They're not great anymore. It's like you look at any of the games on PlayStation 4 Pro, like the Uncharted's of the world, Tomb Raider, you know, even Final Fantasy XV. It's a Square Enix game, Nier Automata. All of them, in my opinion, have better graphics than what 14 has right now. So, hopefully they will up the graphics. And also because as well, obviously in the last 3 years, graphic capability has gone up a lot as well. So, you know, the PlayStation 4 Pro is amazing for a console. You know, I'll say that for a console. And now we have the greats of PC gaming, like the 1080 Ti, which is capable of 4K 60 FPS gaming. And my hope is that they really up it as well. But of course, games are not all about the graphics. Zelda Breath of the Wild proved that. You know, graphics are just a bonus. It has to also be about the gameplay. So, I just hope they make things more interesting. I'm happy that they are thinking of a new way to innovate and to direct us through the grinding of the relic. Like, you guys know, in this expansion, I pretty much boycotted the relic. I pretty much boycotted red scripts. Because my experience in MMO gameplay is that if something is not good now, eventually it will be changed. Simple as that. If people don't like it, they will fix it. But that's also a good thing about MMOs compared to single players. In single player games, usually if something's broken, it stays broken. If it's broken by design. So, and the thing is as well, I don't want to say it's annoying, but something that's odd in this game is how you saw, like, just watching this story mode, some of the words were voice acted and some of them weren't. That is something I don't understand. Is like, if there's only so much story, there's not that much story per patch. It's only a couple of hours per patch. Why is only part of it voice acted and the other part me reading it? You know what I mean? Or is it on purpose? Is it by design so that they can, you know, at least let you read yourself? But yeah, and also in terms of my hopes for Stormblood, what I would like them to do, this is probably not going to happen, it's a dream I've had for a long time, is that for people who've had subscription for at least 2 years or more, to give them the veteran status. You know, the same status that the 1.0 players had moving into 2.0. So my hope would be is that now that 2.0 has been out longer than the whole of 1.0, that, you know, Square Enix could offer that. That you get a slight discount on your subscription cost. You get other rewards that the veteran players have enjoyed the last 3 years. I think they've enjoyed it enough. I think it's time for everyone else who's been an active player of 2.0 onwards to get that. That's my opinion. You know, don't hurt me. And as well, because the thing is, to qualify for the veteran status, you only had to pay subscription in 1.0 for 3 months. You know, whereas people have been playing, at least the people I know, the people who watch my videos regularly and so on, have been playing 2.0 for 3 years. So, yeah. And my other wish as well for, well, it's not even a wish. My hope, or thing I'm looking forward to in Stormblood, is that we just have some really gorgeous new places to explore and more density to the places. Like, for example, dense jungle, you know, not big wide open areas just for the sake of flying mounts, like really like dense forests. Think Brayflock's Longstop, that sort of denseness in the environment. You know, I want to see that. I want to be able to get lost in these environments when I'm walking around, you know, because that's something that we haven't had in a while in this game. Is basically you can't get lost anywhere. Is like each zone is so small because of limitations of PlayStation 3. I hope they really up it in Stormblood. And other than that, I'm happy they've embraced PlayStation support. I know a lot of people play exclusively on PlayStation, so I'm happy about that. Maybe one day they'll open it up to Xbox as well. Who knows? They put 15 on Xbox, so we'll see. And other than that, basically just to keep doing what they're doing. But I know full well that right now all of their effort, all of their attention is on Stormblood. But the last 2 or 3 patches of the game, I feel, have really, really suffered. Really suffered. In terms of, like, some of the seasonal events that came out in the past used to last more than an hour, whereas now they last, some of them, like 15 minutes. So it almost has become like, there's a seasonal event coming up. You go and work on it, get it done quickly so we can get it live. Like, the rest of you carry on working on Stormblood. So I understand that there's, you know, they don't have infinite money for development. I get it, and they're doing a good job. But I feel better planning could have been put into place earlier on, so that the content becomes better divided and also at the same sort of depth and level as the previous things. And some might argue like that, you know, shorter length for higher quality. Like, that's true for the events like the... Oh, what was that event? The one where we had to go into Hawk Manor and do those different puzzles. I've forgotten the name of the event. But, yeah, that I would agree with. But some of the other ones, like the Valentine's Day event, it was like, talk to 2 people and you're done. You know what I mean? It wasn't very time, you know, Valentine-y, let's say. And, yeah, and the thing is as well, there's obviously... What I'm happy about in terms of 14, in terms of leaving its staple on the market, is how much it's inspiring other games. World of Warcraft Legion borrowed a lot from 14, you know, and I did say that in my 14 versus Heavensward video, which you can check out. Thank you for 60,000 plus views on that video, by the way. And it's nice that people are taking this MMO seriously in terms of where it's going to be. And for me as well, like, that's what I want for Stormblood. I want more excitement. It's been mellow, it's been slow, it's been interesting, it's been touchy-feely, la 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 for a long time. I'm ready for war. You know, Stormblood, blood, storm. I want it to be an all-out war. You know, I want the expansion to be like that. So, yeah, I want excitement again. I miss excitement in this game. That's why I barely played the last few months, is because I miss that excitement. I miss that blood rush. You know, so I hope Stormblood gives us that. And you know that I'm an avid supporter of this game, of Square Enix generally. You know, yeah, love you, Square Enix. And I feel that they can up the ante now. I think now is the time to embrace. Like, they set the foundation, now's the time to push up. So, you know, and the thing is as well, like, yesterday, some of you might have seen me stream episode Gladio of Final Fantasy XV, and I was very disappointed with it because, one, the animations were very slow. The animation lock was ridiculous. I've never seen a 10-second animation lock in any game. But also because I feel like they were sticking to an old formula. I didn't see much innovation. That's what I want to see. I want to see innovation. I want to see Square Enix showing that they are ahead of the curve, that they're not just following a trend. You know what I mean? It's like Square Enix has for a long time been a trendsetter. But then Nintendo comes along with Zelda Breath of the Wild and blows everything out the water. And ironically, Zelda did that by revisiting they didn't visit what they were currently doing in Zelda. Can we improve what we did in the latest couple of games? They went all the way back to the beginning. And they said, what can make this new generation of Zelda as great as the original Zeldas? I would love for them to do that with Final Fantasy XIV, and that's what they said. That's what's their goal for Final Fantasy XV. They said they wanted to take 15 back to the challenger roots. So I want to see more of that. I want to see, you know, that even if an idea came up 30 years ago, if it was a good idea, bring it back to now. You know, it's like, possibly, like, I'm only 32 myself, well, only, so, like, I don't know about what things were like 30 years ago. So for me, it would be fresh. You know what I mean? I'm like, while I am a Final Fantasy fan, my Final Fantasy adventure started from Final Fantasy VII. I don't know really much of anything about Final Fantasy 1 to 6. So if they bring in certain classes like Time Mage or whatever, great. Because for me, it will all be new. And the good thing with the technology they've set up for this is one of the first things they did actually was increase and improve the server technology for 14. It means that as the game becomes more graphically intense, as more players play it, as there's more players crowded into small areas and so on, the game can handle it. Like, the servers can handle it these days. You know, you're not going to have like the early days of WoW where you have 1,000 people on screen and you're playing at 4 frames a second. That's gone. That's the past now. So that's what I'm ready to now embrace. Like, I am hoping as well that if I get a GTX 1080 Ti, that I can replay the story of this game at 4K 60 FPS. That's what I want to see. I want to see a 4K 60 FPS, and because people have been asking for it, and because I'm curious myself, I'll probably play it with Japanese voiceovers, because I want to see how the Japanese voices of this game compare to the English voices. And yeah, I remember as well when I had the sort of 4 FPS with 1,000 people on screen. That was at 1024 by 768 resolution. You know what I mean? that was God. Wow, the past. And then when Wrath of the Lich King came out and I could play at 60 FPS at 1080p, I was so unbelievably happy. But again, Wrath of the Lich King came out many, many years ago. Now it's time to embrace 4K. YouTube supports 4K streaming, believe it or not. So we will see. We will see how things go in the future. What I'm curious about as well, it probably won't happen in 14 because 14 is an MMO, but I am curious to see the Final Fantasy XV VR experience, because I don't know if any of you have tried VR. VR is unreal. It's surreal. You know, it's, if you've ever put on a like VR mask, you literally, like, I'm sitting right here right now in my bedroom talking to you guys on this video and so on. You can put on a VR headset and suddenly you're in China, or suddenly you're on the moon, or whatever. It's like you literally teleport to a new place. So, and I was seeing some reviews about Resident Evil 7 VR, when the reviews literally said things like, you know, I crapped myself playing this. And I can understand why. It's something that is for the future, basically, VR. It's not, I feel more as time passes, I feel it's less of a gimmick and more of an opportunity for innovation. And yeah. So, guys, I like to give my feedback during credits of different games. As you've seen me, I've been playing so many games now. Usually during the credits is when I give my feedback and my feelings of a game. If it's the only game of that series, then I just reflect on the game I played. If it's a game like this one where I know there's a sequel, there's more coming up, I try and give my wish for the future as well. Now, I miss this game. I miss it. It doesn't mean I'm going to dive head in and start streaming it every day again. No, but we only have a couple of months to go. We have like less than 3 months to go. We'll be in Stormblood, and hopefully, touch wood, so will I. So, yeah. And thank you guys for supporting my YouTube channel the last 3.5 years. It's because of you guys I can even do this. You know, you guys have helped me through so many different moments in my life in the last 3 years. All that drama with me getting kicked out my house and you guys helping me move, and all the trolling on Reddit and all this other bullshit. Excuse my French. I really want to thank you for having my back in this situation and supporting my content. And the thing is as well, when it comes to YouTube, I care very much about YouTube. You know, people ask me all the time, why don't you stream on Twitch? Why do you stream on Twitch? And for that reason, it's the reason I opened up again my Twitch stream. I listen to you guys, you know, I don't just but obviously my primary is YouTube. And as well, I am very grateful, I am very happy of how many people I've been able to help. You know, I've received dozens and dozens of personal emails to me talking about personal issues, about how my videos have helped people through rough times, or people who've just spoken to me personally and I've helped them with different situations. So I'm happy that I was able to serve you. You know, that is one of my greatest joys. And the thing is as well, lots of people thank me for showing them how great crafting is in 14. I didn't make crafting great in 14. Yoshi P did. So you should thank Squoshy P, you should thank Square Enix for making crafting great in this game. I feel it could be better, but there's some little things that could change, like get rid of red scripts. But yeah, it was the developers who made crafting great, not me. So And yeah, and we'll just see what the future has to hold. Guys, as well, please check out Mithrie.com if you haven't already. I put a lot of work into that website. I still actively update it every day. Whenever I put the live stream now, I put the live stream on Mithrie.com. It shows all the games I've played on my YouTube channel and all the games I'm intending to play in the, what's it called? And the games I'm intending to play in the near future as well, basically. And if there's any game series or game that you would really, really like me to play, tell me. I've been introduced to so many amazing games which I never would have even known existed myself, like Ni no Kuni. You guys kept talking to me about Ni no Kuni. I didn't know what it was, and after now finishing the game, I feel it's one of the best RPGs I've ever played, and I am very much looking forward to Ni no Kuni 2. And on the 4th of April, I think it's 4th, in like 4 or 5 days from now, or next week basically, we're going to be playing Persona 5, because you guys won't shut up about it. So I pre-ordered it, you know, thanks to you guys for helping me get it as well, and we will see what Persona 5 is like. And lots of other game series. There's so many game series on my channel that I'm covering, so I'm happy that I've been able to successfully move from being a 14 crafting teacher to a multi-streamer. I play all the games I like now, and you guys still watch me, which is what I'm really grateful for, that I see the same 20 to 50 people every day, and then sometimes we just get invaded with hundreds, sometimes even thousands of guests into the stream. So thank you very much for that. And I try to keep things, I try to keep my links with the 14 community alive at all times. I'm still all the time, if some of you have seen me, I pop by Joe Never Fails stream like all the time, and so on. So I try to keep the link there. And I have actually been trying to talk to Final Fantasy Peasant, of all people, and he doesn't acknowledge my existence. I feel kind of bad. I feel like such a scrub. So, yeah. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's, I feel the credits coming to the end. I'm sure there's going to be more after these credits, and I've been rambling on probably now for 20 minutes. If you've watched until this point, hello. The meaning of life is more. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for being here. And let's see what we have coming up in Stormblood and so on, and for the future of the game. And guys, remember as well, my only message will be, as I say in every of these videos, if I die young, remember to live your life as happy as possible. Don't sweat the small stuff. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Be as happy as possible, and make yourself happy first, then make other people happy. My opinion is, you can't make other people happy unless you can make yourself happy. So think, what do you need to do to make yourself happy? What problems do you need to fix in your life? Make it happen. As Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it. Just get on with it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. You know, I make my lists. I've told you about my lists before. I write down, this is what I want to do. Once I've done it, tick. Move on to the next thing. But that's why the slogan on my channel is freedom through action. I truly believe in this concept that if you actually take action on your dreams, that good things will happen. If you wait for things to happen, you're going to be a miserable person. You have to actually take action on them. And yeah. And of course, some people will say, oh, playing games is a waste of time. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, look, life can be a waste of time if you treat it badly. You have to make something positive. I've made gaming positive in my life by doing my YouTube channel. So, and connecting with all of you guys. And yeah. And sorry, I was just interrupted just then because one of my friends messaged me. And as well as you know, guys, I don't want to sound like a complete loser, but I don't really have that many personal friends in real life. I really don't. But online, I've got thousands of friends. You're all my friend. I love you all. And just because I met you online, it doesn't mean the friendship is any less real. So please, if you want to email me about stuff, what's it called? Email me, talk to me. I like the conversation. So let's see. One comment. Was rage quitting 15 a positive gaming experience you created? No. And I was actually talking about it today, that I want to revisit. Like, I'll probably play episode Gladio offline and record it as an episode rather than as a stream. On stream I'm just going to rage too much, which is not positive at all. So anyway, let's hide the camera. Let's carry on the episode as we're going. Right, so let's finish off this quest with Elise. So, he may have mentioned, but Alpha Node has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can do to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Gaia Urbania, we have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence. Correct? I for one look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect do you. Yeah, she must have been watching my credit speech. Let's complete. Cutscene. I wonder if they'll leave us with another cliffhanger. So, quick march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses. We must be ready to face their retribution. It's almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. So, I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Ilberd. I'll take our homeland back. For the both of us. So what I've noticed about the Garlean Empire, is there like only men in the Garlean Empire and like 3 women? So, my Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Balsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown Econ continues, though both yet elude us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? He's beautiful. Forgive me, my lord, I did not intend. Your will be done. So, unknown, my spies tell me the Domans call it Shinru. and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. Sephiroth. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So, at the Far Edge of Fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look forward to tide, behold their crimson unite. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. I love it. I want to see lots of blood. Cool. So we got the achievement, 5 minutes of fate. Let's see if that came with any title as well. So we got the title, Fate Walker. So anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie.